NATO's internal divisions are beginning to grow more visible as repeated Ukrainian drone incidents near alliance borders trigger confusion, diplomatic discomfort, and growing disagreement among Western countries over how far support for Kyiv should go. What was once considered NATO's worst-case scenario may now be inching closer to reality, as the Ukraine-Russia war increasingly spills into alliance territory through accidental drone incursions and rising cross-border military risks. Fears are mounting across Eastern Europe that NATO territory may no longer be fully insulated from the war, with suspected Ukrainian drones repeatedly entering Allied airspace and raising fears of unintended escalation. President Volodymyr Zelensky's increasingly aggressive warnings toward Russia are now drawing uncomfortable scrutiny inside NATO, especially after several military drones allegedly crossed into the territory of Ukraine's own Western backers. As tensions rise between NATO members over drone incursions and border security failures, Russia is portraying the situation as proof that the Western alliance is becoming fractured while the United States appears increasingly distracted and divided over its commitments abroad. An alleged Ukrainian drone misfire inside Latvia is now exposing quiet divisions within NATO, as alliance members struggle to respond to a growing number of cross-border airspace incidents linked to the Russia-Ukraine war. Latvia said a suspected Ukrainian drone damaged several empty fuel storage tanks overnight, triggering fresh security concerns near NATO's eastern frontier and raising uncomfortable questions about the spillover risks of the war. Despite the reported incursion, Latvian officials stopped short of directly blaming Kyiv, even after local reports claimed the drone crossed into Latvian airspace from the direction of ongoing military operations. Latvia's defense minister defended Ukraine's broader wartime actions, stating that Kyiv has every right to defend itself against Russia, even as NATO members face increasing pressure from repeated drone incidents.
We have been given notice, or rather an overall position, from a Ukrainian side that they, of course, have the right and the obligation to strike military and legitimate targets within Russian territory. They will continue to do so. As for specific incidents and specific flight trajectories, that will be Ukraine's choice whether they will notify us or not. Such information is generally of an operational nature.
Latvian authorities argued that these airspace violations are a direct consequence of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, warning that countries bordering the war zone are becoming increasingly vulnerable to accidental military spillovers. Reports claimed that at least 2 suspected Ukrainian drones entered Latvian airspace overnight, intensifying fears that the conflict is beginning to physically leak deeper into NATO territory along Russia's borders. According to local accounts, one of the drones reportedly disappeared after crossing into Latvia near the Russian frontier, sparking a search operation and adding to concerns over tracking failures and air defense blind spots. Russian military sources identified the aircraft as Ukrainian-made Ludi drones, a long-range strike platform that Moscow claims has increasingly been used in attacks targeting strategic infrastructure deep inside Russian territory. The Latvia incident comes just days after Finland publicly warned Ukraine over what it described as unacceptable airspace violations involving military drones that accidentally crossed into Finnish territory during attacks on Russia. Ukraine had reportedly launched a large-scale drone strike roughly 50 kilometers from the Finnish border on May 3rd, creating fears that nearby NATO airspace could once again become vulnerable to military overspill. Finnish authorities confirmed that 2 military drones intended for targets inside Russia eventually strayed into Finnish territory, forcing Helsinki to raise diplomatic concerns directly with the Ukrainian leadership. Finland's prime minister later revealed that he personally discussed the repeated drone incursions with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during recent talks, underlining the growing sensitivity of the issue inside NATO. Several NATO states bordering Russia have now reported a noticeable increase in suspected Ukrainian drone incursions, fueling debate over whether the alliance is quietly absorbing risks linked to Kyiv's expanding drone campaign. On March 23, a drone reportedly exploded inside Lithuania's Lake Levices region, becoming one of the earliest incidents in a growing chain of unexplained aerial violations across NATO territory bordering Russia and Belarus. Just 2 days later, on March 25, drone wreckage was reportedly discovered in Latvia's Kraslava region, adding to a rapidly expanding list of suspicious cross-border military incidents linked to the war. That same day, another drone reportedly struck Estonia's Oviir power plant area, deepening fears that critical infrastructure inside NATO states may increasingly face unintended exposure from the expanding drone conflict. On March 29th, yet another drone reportedly crashed near Kouvola in Finland, continuing a pattern of aerial incidents that has alarmed security officials across northern and eastern Europe. Then on April 1st, additional drone wreckage was reportedly found in Latvia's Rīzekne region, reinforcing concerns that repeated incursions are no longer isolated events, but part of a broader regional security challenge. By May 3rd, Finland confirmed that 2 military drones had once again strayed into its territory, further escalating tensions over the risks posed by long-range drone operations conducted near NATO borders. And on May 7th, suspected drones entered Latvian airspace again, with reports claiming that an oil-related facility was struck during the latest incident, intensifying fears of accidental escalation inside NATO territory. Russia has accused NATO countries of quietly allowing Ukrainian drones to pass through their airspace during operations targeting Russian territory, claims that Western governments have so far rejected or avoided commenting on directly. Moscow alleged that NATO-controlled airspace had effectively been used to facilitate strikes targeting Russia's Leningrad region, accusing alliance members of indirectly enabling Ukrainian military operations. Russian sources further claimed that Ukrainian drones were flying through NATO states specifically to avoid Belarusian air defenses, although these allegations remain highly disputed and independently unverified. The latest incidents reportedly followed a wave of Ukrainian drone attacks targeting Russian Baltic oil terminals, infrastructure Moscow considers strategically vital for both military logistics and energy exports. Amid a public disagreement with the United States over the Iran war, Germany has now commented on what appears to be a slowdown or limitation in American military support and deployments. The German Chancellor has said that the United States will not station Tomahawk cruise missiles in Germany for the time being, according to multiple reports citing his latest remarks. Friedrich Merz also attempted to push back against speculation, denying that the US decision on Tomahawk missiles was in any way linked to his recent criticism of President Donald Trump. Speaking to German public broadcaster ARD on May 3rd, Merz said the United States is currently facing a shortage of Tomahawk systems, limiting its ability to deploy such weapons abroad. The Americans don't have enough for themselves right now. Objectively speaking, there is virtually no possibility of the US supplying weapon systems of this kind. There are absolutely no compromises and no restriction on the US commitment to nuclear deterrence in the NATO area. Unquote. Merz also addressed the issue in a separate interaction with NDR, where he spoke about the planned withdrawal of US troops from Germany and ongoing discussions around that decision. NATO faces Russian bombers alone, as tensions rise amid a growing rift with Donald Trump. French Rafale jets intercept a Russian Sukhoi 24M over the Baltic Sea on May 1st in a high-alert mission. The update comes directly from the official account of the French Armed Forces General Staff, confirming the aerial encounter. Dramatic images released by the French military capture the moment Russian jets were intercepted mid-flight. French Army statement read, and I quote, Lithuania, escort of 2 Su-24M Russian jets that penetrated without a flight plan into the airspace of the Baltic states. Immediate intervention by French Rafale jets from the French Air Force deployed in Lithuania for Baltic policing. Together, protect the airspace of the Baltic states and ensure policing of NATO skies. Unquote. One of the intercepted Sukhoi Su-24MS bombers was identified with registration number RF 34002. Reports indicate the aircraft belongs to Russia's elite 4th Guards Naval Assault Aviation Regiment. This regiment operates from a strategic airbase in Kaliningrad Oblast, a key hub of the Baltic Fleet. The interception followed the launch of a new NATO Baltic air policing rotation based out of Lithuania. French and Romanian air forces officially began this NATO air policing mission on March 31, 2026. Earlier encounters saw Russian Sukhoi Su-24SM and Ilyushin Il-20M aircraft operating near Kaliningrad. Swedish Gripen jets later intercepted Russian fighters escorting Tupolev Tu-22M3 bombers. In separate incidents, Swedish jets scrambled again to monitor Russian naval and submarine movements in the region. Norwegian F-35A Lightning II jets were deployed to intercept Russian Ilyushin Il-38 over the Barents Sea. On May 1st, Russian Tupolev Tu-95 MS bombers were tracked by NATO across Arctic and Atlantic corridors. These repeated encounters underscore rising aerial friction between NATO and Russia over contested European airspace. Russia's defense ministry claimed its air defenses intercepted an extraordinary 347 Ukrainian drones overnight, describing the attacks as one of the largest aerial assault waves seen in recent months. Moscow later escalated those figures even further, alleging that Russian forces had shot down roughly 570 Ukrainian drones within just 24 hours amid intensified cross-border fighting. The governor of Bryansk claimed Ukrainian drone strikes injured at least 13 civilians, including a child, as Russian regions near the border continued reporting damage and mounting security concerns. Moscow's mayor also stated that more than 30 drones were intercepted near the Russian capital, highlighting growing fears that Ukraine may increasingly target politically symbolic locations deep inside Russia. The surge in Ukrainian drone attacks comes just days before Russia's massive May 9th Victory Day parade, one of the Kremlin's most politically sensitive and security-heavy annual events. Russia is preparing for its World War II Victory Day celebrations under an atmosphere of heightened tension, with fears growing that Ukraine could attempt a dramatic strike during the commemorations. President Volodymyr Zelensky had earlier hinted that Ukraine could potentially target Moscow's military parade, comments that triggered alarm across Russian political and security circles ahead of the event. Moscow responded by warning Kyiv of severe retaliation if any attack disrupted Victory Day celebrations, raising concerns that both sides are preparing for another sharp escalation. Russia also reportedly advised several foreign diplomats to temporarily leave Kyiv due to growing security concerns, signaling fears that retaliatory strikes could intensify around the holiday period. At the same time, Moscow announced a temporary two-day pause in offensive military operations for Victory Day, presenting the move as a symbolic humanitarian gesture during the celebrations. However, Zelensky reportedly rejected the limited pause and instead demanded a longer ceasefire beginning May 5th, arguing that short truces only create space for tactical maneuvering rather than meaningful diplomacy. Both Ukraine and Russia continue accusing each other of exploiting previous ceasefires to regroup, reposition forces, and prepare fresh offensives, leaving hopes for a genuine truce increasingly uncertain.